Today we're going to be starting a brand new build challenge, which I am so excited for. It's going to be a very long series because there's 26 letters in the alphabet. Yes, 26. Starting with A, that's going to be today. We're building an alphabet-shaped home. I've already decided on the theme. See if you can work out what it is. I'll give you a clue. We're going to start by heading over to Mount Komorebi. And we're going to be building high up on the ski slopes. And we're going to build a giant capital A. Okay, I can't really control the diagonal angle, so it's going to have to be a little bit square. We've got to put the hole in the middle as well. That looks so good. Okay, hopefully you've got a guess because I'm going to tell you. The theme is Alpine. This is going to be a home for a single sim, probably in his mid-20s, who's super adventurous, lives and breathes snowboarding, skiing. So he's up in the mountains and he's converted part of his home into like a ski and snowboard rental service so that he can afford in all of his free time to just go down the slopes. These bars look like a window that you could pay for equipment through. A sliding door. This fence looks quite handmade. Let's do the foundation so it looks like decking as well. Some big windows on the back side would be gorgeous. I imagine you'd see loads of pretty alpine wildlife out there. Should probably grab another column as well. So something is holding up that roof. Nobody's going to see what's under the snow on the roof, but let's at least put something down. What about a blue roof? That feels iconic. I can't see where I'm adding it, so I'm just going to click everything. For the trim, I just need a shade of wood that matches what we're doing so far. That one's quite nice. The house has just got a massive hole in the middle. We've got to do nice, really big windows. Just have this be really open. Probably just use the same sliding door that we did around the front. This house has turned out a lot bigger than I was imagining. I was thinking it was going to be a really small cabin type thing. This guy, he is making some good money from renting out that equipment. I think the bathroom would lead straight from the foyer area for when he is on duty. I'm going to section it off slightly though with a half wall. Maybe not that low. Okay, let's start with the rental area. We've got to start off with a rack for all the equipment. I know the idea. I'm almost overwhelmed by where do I start? Okay, hear me out. I kind of want to give these skis a little awning. Look, then they have their own little house. Actually, this one's perfect. Let's add another little sign that says, please don't take until you have paid. What about a sign for people on their way out, just pointing which way the slopes are? I'm going to raise this up so it looks like it's coming out of the post. The slopes are that way. They actually are that way. On the other side, I want to just add a sign to say that ski hire is this way. Really catch people's attention. Some additional ski storage on this side. And then definitely a couple of vending machines. This one looks like it's got bits and bobs that might be useful on the mountains. Tourist books and medicine. And another one that maybe he's stocked with some hot food in case people want to buy that. I'm going to cover them with an umbrella. Blue and red are becoming our colors. So maybe red, even though you can't see it because it's snowing. We should put a bin down as well because you know what people are like. Let's do a couple. One for recycling, one for general waste. This looks quite good as storage lockers for putting keys and phones and things you don't want to take on the mountain. I would like to put a clock up there as well. I wish it was a little bigger. It's got to be a better shade of brown. That one's the best color. I'm wondering if we use this to make like a photo op, because experienced skiers would have their own equipment. So if you're hiring out, you're quite new. And I reckon they want to try and capture the, oh, we're going skiing, first time family trip kind of crowd. Yeah, see him pop this on it. Oh, this one's perfect. It does ruin the view a little bit. Maybe we put our photo op here and then the bins can go on this side. I think that's looking really good. Want to add some benches down the middle for sitting on and getting your equipment on, or maybe trying it out. On this inside window, I just want to give him a little stool, probably a heater as well for keeping himself warm. This is one of those licenses, insurance documents to sell the equipment. Maybe the fuse box is in here as well. Although isn't that normally outside? He'd also have his own equipment here. A little rug. One thing that's going to fill this space up is cabinetry. This one's good because it looks quite industrial, heavy duty. And then
eventually,
yes! Ha ha ha! I'm a genius. Yes, I did it. I got the tool mod to work. It's only taken me about half an hour, but we finally got there. I've like never messed around with this stuff before, but I have such a specific idea and nothing that I was finding in the catalog was working. I needed to have the rotation options. Here, these skis were not sitting on the shelf and they don't really look good anyway. How does this work? Shift T, rotate. Oh my goodness. Change axis, change axis. Then I want to rotate by -3. Another -3. Another -6. That's better. Okay. Oh! Still on the wrong axis.
1 hour later.
Guys, I've finally done it. You have no idea how long this has taken me. It would be amazing if this was a function in the game. Unfortunately, it's not. All I wanted was to prop the skis up against the wall. Twisted Mexi, thank you for your mod. It's just me learning how to use it for the first time. It's actually quite simple. One thing I did want to do is replace this area with tile. You're going to be covered in snow. Your boots are going to be leaving a trail all over the place. And I imagine wood is not the play. Do they have an inside? Okay, they did think of everything. I thought I caught them out there for a second. Same tile in the bathroom. I'm wondering if we've got a helmet or anything in the debug menu, but all we've got for rock climbing gear is a little parcel. One thing I want to add is a little bin for our guy that sits here, and I reckon all he does is drink Coca-Cola. Here comes tool mod again. Okay, so if I just get loads of these, then I can rotate them all by 90. Yes, I'm really getting the hang of this now. I think that looks so good. So all he does is drink Coke all day. It's okay. He'll burn it all off on the slopes. Let's do a couple of like rock climbing annuals, books, magazines. That's the word. We've got a ski section, so I want to do a snowboard section. Goggles, people might take. Box of spare stuff down here. We could do like boxes of flares, which is what the star is for. I have never been skiing in my life, so I'm just guessing right now. What other items can we use? Look at all these book stacks. Do they have one on climbing? Self-help for anyone having a bit of a crisis. I imagine they might get quite a few, you know, middle-aged men having a midlife crisis out on the slopes. So maybe they'd sell quite a few. I guess this one's got a lady doing yoga. That's probably the closest we're going to get. We could sell backpacks as well. Oh, air horn in case you're in trouble. That's kind of similar to the flares that we've got. Here's another leaflet guidebook. Okay, let's start lining everything up. They look like Pingu. Great, look how full that shelf looks. He's got so many products to stock. This area is still feeling a bit barren. What about a cabinet and a fire extinguisher? Very safe. Pop a snow shovel against the wall. What about clothes? Like the kind of racks they have in Thrifty. Oh, these look full of warm clothes. That's perfect. Maybe these can be like thermal underlayers. I want quite dark swatches. We just need a little bit of shelving in this corner to make this feel like he's used every inch. Just going to add a few more flyers. I imagine they're the equivalent of me and hairbands, where you just end up having them lying around everywhere. In this corner, we want it to look like a built-in wooden bench and storage system. Just a really big space to let you take off your skis and just breathe before you step into the house. This is so pretty. I've got no other opportunity to use it. Maybe we should do, one with the different colors for the different mountains. That's lovely. I've got snowy peaks as well. Considered a good luck talisman. Daruma dolls are traditionally given to those who need encouragement or help setting life goals. I like to think maybe a local has gifted him one, so he'll have it on his shelf here. Let's move on to the bathroom. Now, this is just an employee bathroom, basically. It does not need to be special. This is a customer toilet too, you see, so it has to feel like somewhat a commercial bathroom. Are they the finished room? It's very minimal, but that's the point. Now we have what was a problem, but I fixed it. In that the leftover space is way too big to fill, really, for one sim who lives on his own in the house. There's just too many rooms and not enough hobbies that one man can single-handedly have to fill all that space. So I spoke with my partner to see if he had any ideas, and he he's a genius. He suggested that we turn some of it, maybe the other length of the A, into a guest Airbnb. Of course. So not only does the man sell skis, but he also rents out half of the cabin. Everybody these days is about having multiple income streams. That's all I hear. Passive income. Blah, blah, blah. So he's out there grinding hard, chefing away at making a living in these mountains. Let's start with the guest Airbnb. You come in and we'll have a kitchen and a lounge area, as well as some space to take off your boots. So we'll get the same benches that we did before. Maybe we'll go for a different color scheme. Oh, we can fit 2 of them. That looks quite good. Or what about 1 of them and then a built-in seating area? That's fun, but I'm going to need to find a lot of things to fill the shelves with. So I'm gonna swap it out for clothes storage. I've done this and I really like it. The only problem is that you can see the frame. So I'm just thinking what I can cover it with. Now I've got an idea to use these lace curtains. You can kind of see something behind. Maybe we do just swap for clothes. Oh! I didn't realize that was happening. Okay, we were all good. I panicked then. This is just a rental kitchen, so we don't need to go crazy on the decoration. A couple of loaves of bread that they have bought from the local bakery. Stick a hand towel over here. This artwork's kind of giving rental apartment. And then we probably want some sort of window covering as well, just to hide away from all of the customers. On to the living area. This all needs to feel quite compact. After all, I think when you go skiing, well, no. Do you know what? I've never been skiing before. I don't really know what you do, but I imagine you spend most of your time either on the slopes or sleeping because you're so tired from being on the slopes. I think the day finishes quite early because it gets dark. So having a nice lodge space is probably important as you'll spend a lot of evenings there. I want to squeeze in a game table or something for that reason. I think I have solved this jigsaw puzzle. Yes, I knew there's a way we could fit everything together. It's always the case. It's the same as my actual real life house. My partner and I, like this room, for example, we spent ages configuring the layout just to try and fit everything we need. It's literally got the word Alpine in it. So we've got to put this in here. Great, I like it. The storage system we've got feels a little bit more modern, but I reckon they've just installed that piece. So it's a little bit newer than everything else. I think one thing we can do to disguise it a little bit better is go with the black. At least that matches the table, the fireplace, the oven, and it's got the similar gold accents as well. So I think the black swatch blends it in better. The bedrooms should be super easy. I think the woods are working together quite well. I like the little fish. Oh, it's got to be the one in the mountains though, hasn't it? Rug. What do we do on this side? Put a vanity down. Oh, and a little chair. Another little rug. This one matches. I know you want some nice lighting when you're doing your makeup. Whoa, that one's huge. If I could shrink it down, I reckon we give them some shelving. That's a bit of a head bonking hazard there. I'll put them above head height. My partner's 6'7". He would absolutely get up to go wee in the middle of the night and bang his head. You know, I don't want our sim that runs this place getting sued. This wooden board's really nice and I love the dark to light effect. And now it's a nice wall display. For their bathroom, we need to squeeze in a shower. I don't want to mess around with this silly triangle situation we've got going on. I maintain that triangles are more awkward than curves in a way. Bold claim, I know. The last thing we're going to do is make sure that our lovely customers who are staying at Airbnb have some towels. For the next room, very simple. We can just use the exact same furniture. This one's a little bigger. Oh, and they get outside windows. Okay, this is definitely the better room. If you're going to book this lodge with your friends, make sure that you arrive first. So, you know, you can take the better bedroom. We'll make sure to give them some nice artwork too. This one, okay, is that not giving Airbnb? I am just going to add one of these little brochures, some, you know, light evening reading. Instead of counting the sheep, you can have a look at what there is to see nearby. Now we can move on to the main house area. Where do we start? Oh my goodness. So as you come in, the first thing I want to do is pop a mini office area over here. After all, he does run at least 2 businesses. The way that people who do multiple passive streams are, he's probably also got a sticker business on Etsy, sells 3D printed plastic crap at Anime Expo, sells feet pics on OnlyFans. He might have really nice toes. Anyway, to that point, let's give him a desk. This one has quite a lot of folders. I know it's supposed to be for school, but it does look quite businessy. Doesn't look as aged as I would want it to though. Oh, that's a very pretty lamp. We'll tuck a filing cabinet down here as well. Maybe one on the other side. Gotta make most of all the little nooks and crannies. I reckon he is a little bit disorganized. All he really wants to do is go snowboarding. Just a little bit of clutter around his desk, just so it feels very lived in and like he never really tidies away fully. I reckon I give him this mountainscape again. I'm gonna assume that's like Mount Crombie, but from the other side. Oh, and we could tuck some bookshelves up here. That's so cozy. Amazing, this section is done. That's a gorgeous little office area. Well, maybe not with the Coke cans everywhere, but I think that looks so realistic. Buzzing. For this next section, we're going to do a workshop. And it's going to be sort of like a gallery, because basically I said that our sim who lives here, do you know, I'm going to call him Arthur. That's a great name. Arthur probably has to repair a lot of the snowboards and skis maybe sometimes. I don't know if they are reparable or if usually you just throw them out and buy new ones. But I'd like to think he's very eco-conscious, got to get as much life out of them as possible. So in his free time, he'll repair not only some of the skis and things, but other equipment. Again, maybe that's another income stream. He's like the town's repair guy. So if your bicycle is not working, you can take it to him and he'll fix it. I was gonna just put a Hoover down as well, because I imagine quite a lot of sawdust goes everywhere. And as well as the Hoover, we'll also leave a manual brushing option over this side. Okay, I think we've got a workshop that feels, again, really lived in. Messy, but perfectly homely. He's definitely going to forget where he put that wrench. Moving on. Which way around should we go? Let's do his bedroom next, which is going to be something really warm and cozy. After all, it's always going to be freezing cold here. I want something nice and warm. Perfect, like that. Need a nice swatch. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy that bothers with a mirror, if I'm honest. So I'm gonna forgo a mirror in here. After all, there's one in the bathroom. Why do you need one in the bedroom? We've got so many choices for a rug. I like something like this. What would he have on his bedside? I reckon a tablet. They got like a watch anywhere. And yes, he puts it back in its case at nighttime because I don't have any other option. I'm gonna be honest, I really actually don't like this room. The woods, there's too much going on. I need to fix this. I can't let this stay like this. Hang on. I think it's this rug. I'm going to try changing it. Yeah, and that covers the floor area quite nicely. Okay, I like this a lot better. Now, what can we put on the wall? I mean, it's got to be boards, hasn't it? These are skateboards, but if we size them up, all of a sudden, they could look like snowboards. This one's nice, especially with the alpine trees. It just needs a bit of greenery and then we're done. Maybe this fern? Ooh, we could add it to the middle of the window. And the wood matches! That looks elite. Okay, so then I need another plant for this corner. This one looks quite sweet. Give them a yellow pot. It matches with the details in the rug and the curtains. Okay, considering how dicey that was looking there for a second, we've turned out with a great room. On to the bathroom. So we've got sort of Jack and Jill door situation. I'm already spotting the exact kind of nook we can tuck the shower in. I'm an expert at this by now. This is the 3rd time we've had to do this because of this silly A-shaped house. Yeah, it's just an awkward, horrible, dark corner, so I'm going to cut it out. This bathroom is now such a weird shape. We could remove this wall. It's like a zigzag. It's so weird. I might just fill it in. Or that is a good spot for a fireplace, actually. Oh, hold on to that idea. What shelves have we got? Maybe just a very simple wooden one. I would love to put this plant down. Absolutely gorgeous. He'll get so much light by the window as well. He'll be a very healthy plant. Don't ask me to pronounce that though. Philodendron. Oh, that wasn't actually as difficult as I thought. We will also give him some body care essentials and some spare loo roll. I thought this loo roll was stackable. However, I know a mod that can fix that. This is basically just the build where I discovered tool mod. Bathroom artwork. Of course, I love having something to look at while I'm having a number 2. Keeps you entertained. We used it in the Airbnb and it's going to make a comeback. After all, it'd be so sad if the Alpine piece was in the guest area and not Arthur's area. So he gets his painting. Brilliant. It's simple, it's functional, it's perfect. We're moving on to our last room now, and this is going to be a conjoined kitchen and eating and living room. As I mentioned, this seems like the perfect spot for a fireplace. So I'm going to get some stone. It doesn't seem to want to go flat. It's like gluing to any wall that I put it near. Yeah, I'm going to change my mind. Yeah, we'll just make it, I should just fill the triangle in. This is what I'm saying. Triangles are even more difficult than curves. I'm so confident about this. I'm just going to do the kitchen quickly, and I'm going to do it very, very similarly to the guest house. Now, this was from the Restoration Workshop kit, which is fun because it means that we've fixed up a fridge and now we get to use it in our kitchen. Let's just go for white. Ooh, I like how their double tile cabinet goes really well with the counters. They both look like they fit perfectly under the cabinets. I like that. Now, what I also want to do, and I have a feeling that I'm going to get roasted by everyone that isn't British, but I'm putting a washing machine in, and I don't think it looks that bad, so please don't come for me. In the brown, that disguises in quite nicely. This needs some backsplash. The white just looks a bit out of place. If we turn that into rock? Yeah. Instantly so much better. Problem is you can then see it up there. I could turn it all into stone and get a column. How's that? Yes. Columns are actually so clutch. Oh, look. 4 swatches where you get to choose the color of the band round the tap. Wow, thanks, EA. So customizable. Which one suits my build best? I think this one. Okay, so the very first thing we need to decorate this kitchen with, considering this guy's busy schedule with 7 different jobs, we need to get him a coffee maker. What else saves you time? Microwave meals, baby. This poor man's diet is just Coca-Cola, coffee, and probably microwave rice and chicken. He's definitely a rice and chicken Jimbro. I feel so bad for his stomach. What am I saying? I've created him. This is my fault. This is why God didn't make me God. I like the idea that he's having a go at growing his own herbs though. He's trying. I know for a fact that he's left his open cereal boxes out. Red's his favorite color. It just looks a bit too grand. Guess we just go black for our dining table. Circular one. Oh, that's nice. I could put a television down, but don't know if this guy would even have the time to watch it. I'm gonna skip, but I would quite like to give him a radio or like a vinyl player. We're going to need a table for that. Here we go. And then you've got a record player. Red, of course. Isn't there a stack of like, oh, I gotta scour the catalog again. There, records of the past. I wish when you keyworded like vinyl, it had similar options. So if I'd keyworded vinyl, it would come up with record. But anyway, I found it now. What am I gonna do with curtains this size? Like for a double story. Look, I think we have come up with something really good here. I like it. So, my friends, that only leaves one more area. If you've been enjoying the video, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a like. And let's move on to our last room, I guess, which is random little outside patch. I actually can't think of how this would tie into a side hustle. Let me know if you have an idea. But for A, I thought this could be really cool to be an astronomy deck. Not astrology, although big up my astrology girlies. I'm a Sagittarius. Taurus moon, but astronomy. There's an astronomical, I don't know, event coming up soon where I think there's going to be 7 planets in the sky all in a line, I've heard. So I'm hoping it's not going to be cloudy that day because you can see a fair few of the close planets with your naked eye, and I'd love to go out and see them all. Perfect! That feels like all it needs to be because it's probably going to be snowing most of the year. But the last thing in hindsight we should do is just go around and add a few space themed artworks. I think we are finished. Let's go into the tour. All in all, this build took me about 8 hours and I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I think I nailed the minimalism of this sim while still bringing enough clutter that it felt really lived in. I love that this is a house cross Airbnb cross ski and snowboard hire. Absolute bizarre mix. The outside area was my favorite. I think that was really creative. The astronomy deck, in my head, that was going to turn out better. I think when I got there, I had a moment of, oh, like, what do I actually put out here? I can't put any plants because, well, it's going to be snowing half the year. And for that reason, there isn't going to be a lot of furniture either. The style as well, I'm not quite sure what you would call it. I guess ski lodge? Considering I've never been skiing before. Yeah, let me know how I did. If you've been skiing before, is this the kind of vibe that like chalets tend to look like? Let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you are amazing. That took me a second. Please remember to like the video as well. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.